and today we have a reading for you about somebody who is, I don't know, maybe even the right word would be obsessing over you. We have the thinking card and the fantasy card. For some, there could be an element of deeply missing you, but I'm more pulled towards the daydreaming and fantasizing and craving you energy. So I feel like this is someone who is crushing pretty hard on you. They really do think that there's something here between the two of you, but I think they're also a little bit nervous about whether or not you feel that same way, or if perhaps you are interested in something or someone else. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. And you can also find a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. Thank you to those that have checked it out. And let's dive in with the graffiti tarot, shall we? Hello, Dracula. How we doing? All right. What else do we have about this person who's thinking about you a lot? Ten of Cups, Five of Wands, and the King of Cups. All right, so there is definitely some concern here that perhaps there's somebody else who is also interested in you. Maybe this admirer is keenly aware that you are seen as a catch and that there are other interested parties, or that there are others who have expressed interest and maybe been rejected by you. So this explains a little bit of that hesitation, right? If I come forward and express my interest in you, is there going to be, some kind of like awkward revelation that actually you're seeing someone else? Or will there be someone else who's messaging you at the same exact time? You're seen as a bit mysterious with the High Priestess card. There's this understanding that you are alluring or people find you attractive, but you also aren't the type to put all of your personal information on social media or share with people unnecessarily. So that Queen of Wands and High Priestess energy is very potent, powerful. And the Page of Wands is there's some way that people are able to see you. Maybe it's just a matter of how you dress or how you look out and about or at work, but people recognize or notice you. There is this draw to you. Hello, Joanne. How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. What's up? We have the Seven of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Ace of Cups. So if their assessment of the situation is correct, you are single. They are nervous that they have missed some details because of that High Priestess energy, but working up the courage to confess that they have an interest in you. And it's not just that they're physically attracted to you. This is someone who sees a life with you, but they acknowledge that there are absolutely people who would be interested in you primarily because of your looks. Knight of Wands. Yes, there are definitely other people who are interested and people who have expressed that interest only to be rejected because you are the type of person who wants to be like intentionally dating, not just looking for physical intimacy. So we have the Magician in the reverse and the Two of Wands. It's like I've been able to kind of learn from other people expressing their interest in you and realize that I have to be cautious with the approach that I use because you have standards, you have expectations, right? All right. We'll use the Dali Tarot. What else do we have, please? Hello, Yolanda. How are you doing? Five of Cups, Eight of Wands in the reverse, and the Two of Swords in the reverse. So they have had to be patient. They have observed and learned from other people being rejected. They feel like they have a better understanding now of who you are and what you're about. Part of the reason that they have not expressed their interest yet, or they have not communicated that they have this crush on you, is because they know they need to like do it right. But with the Two of Swords in the reverse, it's like I feel like I can finally do something now. I love this. It says Dali on every card, and in this case we have the moon being utilized for the name. I love it. They're making a choice to come towards you. I've seen enough, I've learned enough, and if I don't express my interest in you soon, I may end up losing out to somebody else. Even though I know that you are selective, or maybe people say that you are picky, they feel confident that they can express their interest in you in a way that differs from the others. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not just over here like appreciative of your looks and nothing else. I see the inner beauty as well. So they feel like they need to be very clear about their intentions when they approach you. And that will be very different from what other people have done when they expressed their crush or their love for you. It was an immature approach. Most of the other people, that's why they got rejected. So we have the World in the reverse and the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I know how to do this without being left out in the cold. I know how to show you that I'm interested in more than everybody else is. I have an understanding of who you are and why you are so picky. It's like, I appreciate that. Hello, Dee. How are you doing? You can put your question in a super chat and I will add it to the list. I do those questions after the general reading, which would be in about 28 minutes. Hello, Life Scroll. How are you doing? Hello, Westerner. Hello, Queen Taurus. How are we doing today? Hello, Skull. How's your weekend going? Joanne, feel free to put your questions in a super chat and I will add it to the list. Hello, Talents. What else do we have? La Sacerdotisa, the High Priestess. I think that's the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands in the reverse. And the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Why does it seem like this person knows a secret? Okay, so I'm not sure I'm going to say this right, but I think the movie was called Malena. With, oh gosh, what's her name? Bellucci? Is it Maria? Gorgeous woman. And the plot of that movie, I have not seen it, but my understanding of it is that there are men that are obsessed with her character for her beauty, and the way she gets treated by men and women alike is kind of frustrating or demoralizing. So she ends up being kind of aloof or on her own. I want to clarify, this High Priestess could be a man just as easily as it could be a woman. But we have a lot of admirers and interested parties who are focused on the physical attributes here, where the High Priestess is really only interested in a relationship with somebody who sees and appreciates the inner beauty of this person, right? Do you see beyond the physical? Hey, talents, I'm removing your comment because I don't want personal information out there like that. I'm doing well, thank you, Skull. Six of Cups in the reverse. And the Two of Cups in the reverse. Our admirer here is the King of Cups. Does not have to be a man. This is someone who has seen a colleague or close friend already get rejected. It's like they're peering around a corner, watching the interaction and shaking their head. That's not how you get the affections of that person. You're going about it all wrong. It's not the right tone. You're appreciating the physicality when the High Priestess wants to be seen for their character. So the King of Cups feels like they have an edge. When I approach you, I know how to avoid being put in the same class as all the rest of them, because I know it's not about attraction. Knight of Wands and the Hanged Man. Everyone who has approached you and wanted to be with you has focused on what you look like. I'm not going to be like all the others. I am figuring out what's important to you and what, makes your heart sing. Maybe you love to read. Maybe you love to paint. Maybe you're a dancer. Whatever it is, they want to know those other things about you so that when they approach you, it's not about that physical attraction. It's deeper than that. This is the Touchstone Tarot. What else do we have? Six of Swords, Justice in the reverse, King of Swords. So the King of Cups is also coming through as the King of Swords. Someone who knows how to communicate and is very much so a person of integrity or honesty. I feel like this admirer is around the High Priestess when something not so great happens. Maybe there's an argument. Maybe there's someone who doesn't take rejection very well. Maybe there's jealousy expressed by, someone who wishes that they were as sought after as this High Priestess. And this King of Cups, King of Swords is there to be protective or helpful towards this High Priestess. Queen of Cups in the reverse, Page of Swords. In that movie, Milena, there are wives who are very hateful towards Milena, even though she doesn't want that attention. They're jealous or frustrated anyways. And this King of Swords, King of Cups individual is there to make sure that this High Priestess doesn't have to suffer through those insults or bad intentions just for how the High Priestess looks. Six of Cups, Moon in the reverse. I'll be there for you, or I'll help guide you away from those individuals who should be kind to you but can't figure out how to do it because they're jealous. Let's see. This is the Visconti di Moderne. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's okay. It happens. Hello, Jesse. You can put your request in a super chat if you want me to pull some cards for you after the general reading. Thank you, Carrie. And Jesse, I do prefer to be called by my name. My name is Carmen. What else do we have? Another Six of Cups, this time in the reverse. And the Knight of Wands. Protective energy coming to someone's rescue. I see, you know, the jealousy or the anger or the frustration, maybe even sense of rejection in that person's eyes, and they are mad at the High Priestess. How dare you, you know, be you? Queen of Swords in the reverse. Maybe even making accusations or trying to make the High Priestess feel like they aren't part of the community. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Emotional manipulation. Blaming this High Priestess for things that are not the High Priestess's fault. Again, this could either be from interested parties or admirers who are rejected, or from jealous competition, right? I want that romance that you're rejecting. Five of Cups in the reverse. It isn't the High Priestess's fault. They're just like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not interested in that person. You know, whether it's your partner or someone that you wish was interested in you, I don't know what to tell you. I can't do anything about that. What else do we have, please? The Queen of Wands. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. And Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Ten of Wands in the reverse. So it's like resulted in this High Priestess feeling like they're on their own and there's nobody that they can really trust. Feeling like they need to be a bit of a hermit because there's instability or chaos that follows. And that's part of what creates this air of mystery. People wanting to know what's going on for this High Priestess, and the High Priestess feeling like they can't really tell anybody what they're willing to invest in or who they're actually interested in. It seems easier for the High Priestess if they just stay to themselves. So they avoid it. This is the Anubis Oracle. Hello, Fridge. How's your weekend going? Let me add that for you. Is he missing me? Thank you. All right, what else do we have? Hello, Zusa, how are you doing? Cosmic influences. Ma'at, Thoth, and Khepera. There's like too many people involved in this situation, which is part of why the High Priestess seems to be seeking solitary or solitude. But there are people who are accusing the High Priestess of things that the High Priestess has not done. So perhaps you are made out to be like a homewrecker when you haven't, you know, done anything of the sort, or conceited or arrogant when really you just try to stay to yourself. We have the Desert, sacred archetypal element of fire. We had the Queen of Wands come out and the Magician in the reverse. So you could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Or there's something here about attention. People seeing who you are or being very attracted to you. You being able to kind of pull envy energy out of people even though you maybe don't want that. This is the Romani Tarot. I'm glad to hear that, Fridge. Hello, OC. How are you doing? There you go, Yolanda. What else do we have? The Star in the reverse. Someone who has a lot of people talking about them without really wanting that kind of attention. So, like, I'm not seeking that out. I'm not interested in that. And yet there are people who seem to follow. Again, a theme in Milena. Five of Bowlers, or the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Energy that seems to follow this High Priestess around, in part because of that air of mystery, but also because there are admirers, people who seem to be a bit obsessive or like fantasize about you. The World in the reverse. And the King of Pentacles, or the King of Bowlers. So this would be that protective energy. The King of Cups, who also came out as the King of Swords, is now coming out as the King of Pentacles. So this could be someone who's like an emperor energy. Again, does not have to be a man. But they do desire to offer some sort of stability to this High Priestess who seems to be kind of like pushed around or often gossiped about. In the community, Three of Pentacles. It's like, I just want to be left alone. I just want to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But I feel like I'm always interrupted or followed or talked about. People make assumptions. Hello, Future Gambit. How are you doing? Hello, Nat Nat. How's your weekend going? What else do we have? Queen of Bowlers, or the Queen of Wands, or sorry, Queen of Pentacles. And the Seven of Shivs, or Seven of Swords in the reverse. So because there is this interest in doing right by the High Priestess, but an awareness that the High Priestess has had a lot of difficulty with regards to dealing with others or interacting with admirers or people that are jealous. It's like, I really need to make sure that I find a way to communicate my interest with the right approach. That I would want to be protective. I'm not, interested in you being like a trophy partner. And I know that you feel like you always have to like walk away, or you feel like people are just looking for bragging rights. Motivations have been questionable. This High Priestess has dealt with a lot of betrayal and like attempts to control their life. But it feels like there is some good karma coming towards this High Priestess for their patience. It's somebody who genuinely cares. And I feel like this King of Cups individual is going to bring a gift that demonstrates they understand the High Priestess better than others. So while the High Priestess might be rather accustomed to like rejection, not being interested in people, or seeing that people are approaching them with the wrong intentions, there's that Emperor energy I told you. They're seeing this new offer in a different light. Maybe this is someone that I could actually trust. Hence the Hanged Rabbit or the Hanged Man. This is like, maybe this is someone who actually understands me and is worth that connection. It just started to rain super heavy out there. Crazy. This is the Prisma Visions Tarot. I am. Thank you, Nat Nat. I hope you have a bright future ahead of you. And hello, Laura. How's it going? Nine of Swords in the reverse. A respite. A break from the chaos. Someone that makes this High Priestess feel like they can trust them and that it is safe to be associated with them after this High Priestess has felt like they were surrounded by people who they could not trust. This is someone who I feel is going to actually treat me the right way, so I don't have to reject and like run away from them, right? Thank you, Nat Nat. Let me add that for you. You're right, Dracula. Any guidance? Need to know at this time. I don't think you're alone in that, Nat Nat. I was just talking to Rachel, saying things feel a little bit weird, and it could be associated with the fact that they shut down CERN, C-E-R-N. Hello, Rita. How are you doing? Thank you, Carrie. So you've got somebody that you can actually trust showing up after dealing with a lot of people with the wrong intentions or people that were fixated on the wrong elements or parts of your character. Eight of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Chalices. I like that. You've been walking away, you've been avoiding things, but there's something that you can just read off of this person. You are, after all, very intuitive. You're the High Priestess. You can see that after dealing with a bunch of people who want to control you, that you are dealing with an emperor, somebody who knows who they are and somebody who has the right intentions towards you, someone who actually wants to be there for you and appreciates you for who you are entirely, not just this element, right? Thank you, future. Let me add that for you. General. And I'll start those personal questions in about like 8 minutes. Ten of Swords in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse. This Emperor is aware if they are successful, if they are able to convey that they have the right intentions, that they may deal with some jealousy, they may deal with some people who are frustrated, some gossip perhaps, but I feel like this Emperor has gotten to that level because they've already dealt with some of this on their own. So they know how to suffer the slings and arrows, right? Hello, Carla. How we doing today? It shall. What else do we have? Knight of Swords. And the Moon. This is someone that's going to help you. Someone who understands the other side of your energy. They have a mysterious element as well. And yet you can tell that you can trust this person. They are willing to be vulnerable with you. And again, they're a person of integrity and honesty. So they share with you some of the more vulnerable elements of their experience. You may even have some things in common, But when it comes down to making a decision, I feel you're very drawn to them and you feel like it's the right time to trust someone. This could be somebody that you end up moving with, leaving this community, or seeing a better way to deal with the people who look at you this way, who seem to be very jealous of you. But they don't put you on some strange pedestal or see you as like a trophy. They don't have the desire to be out here bragging about being with you or sitting next to you. This is someone who understands what it is to deal with a community that doesn't necessarily understand you. So with the Star in the reverse and the Six of Swords in the reverse, I feel like they show up at a time where you need someone that you can trust. And they prove to you that you can trust them. This is the romantic Lenormands. What else do we have, please? We have the Whip, the Crossroads, and the Owls. So after dealing with a lot of people who were interested in you primarily because of your appearance or the bragging rights or the fantasies they have, you encounter somebody who has a different understanding and somebody who has the desire to actually be good to you. So even though there are a lot of people who talk negatively about you or don't seem to understand you, you finally encounter somebody who is on your level or who understands the depth of your soul. There is an ability to feel connected to this person that doesn't require words. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell the joke associated with this card. The Whip. So if you're new to my channel, every time I pull one of these Whip cards, I have to tell a joke or I would get in trouble. Are you ready? The Whip. No, not the Whip. The Whip. No, please, not the Whip. The Whip. No, please, anything but the Whip. Anything? The Whip. Now, we had a fantasy card come out at the beginning, so I'm not entirely shocked to see that card because I do feel like there are people who are interested in you in particular because they are extremely attracted to you. But what they seem to miss or not really understand is that you don't want to be with somebody who is just extremely attracted to your physical looks. You want to be with someone who understands you. And this seems to be finally that person who can see through some of that mystery and understand what it is that you need in a partner. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, somebody who is making you an offer and they do have the right intentions. They want to have a long-term relationship and they understand how to approach you because they know what it is to be pursued by people who are really just thinking about the naked time, right? Really just thinking about how attracted they are to you. This new admirer, this is somebody who sees that you are enlightened. This is someone who sees that you understand things about life that other people fail to understand. So this Two of Cups or this love that they have for you, it's a spiritual connection, not just a physical attraction. So it's a departure from the types of energies that you've encountered in your past. And as such, instead of rejecting this person, you see it as the right connection for you. And there are going to be people who get frustrated because they've seen you as the person who is very selective and rejects everyone. But this new person who's interested in you gets an actual, like, positive answer. And it makes other people wonder why. They want to understand What is different about this offer? Why is it that they succeeded where so many others have failed? They want to understand. That's okay. Let them be curious. Let them be jealous. So we have the Moon and the Five of Cups. People who are seeing you as the person that they want to be with and don't understand why someone else was successful where they failed. So you might get some fresh gossip being spread about you, trying to understand this new relationship, or maybe even trying to understand why you're leaving, why things are changing. It's just about jealousy, really. This is the Romance Angel Oracle, and then after this, I will start on those personal questions. This is somebody that you're very likely to marry. Someone who understands and isn't looking to control you, but rather protect you or be good to you. After you've dealt with your fair share of people that have been codependent and deceptive. Those people from your past, they don't understand. How can you trust someone after all of these people, did you wrong? But it's partially because of how the energy differs between you and this new person and what it was like dealing with people who did not have the right intentions. You can recognize that this is somebody that you actually trust. As you get to know each other better, your suspicions, positive suspicions, are proven correct. That this is somebody who knows how to heal and somebody who wants to do right by you. All right, I love that. Let's see what we've got for those personal questions. We've got Fridge, and then Nat Nat, and then Future. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. Hello, Dips. How you doing today? Thank you. Why feeling so furious, but calm? Maybe there's a storm a-brewing. I've added that for you, Dips. And thank you, Nat Nat. Let me add that for you. What truth does David want to tell you? I've added that for you. Thank you. So for Fridge, is C missing Fridge? Is C missing Fridge, please? Yes. The number 6 is important. We have the Knight of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is in the reverse. It's like there's something missing here. I don't feel like I can talk to others the way that I could communicate with you, or I don't feel like I can be vulnerable with others. There's this like lack of understanding or connection with others. It pales in comparison to how I felt around you. So there's still this like void. Page of Wands. I do feel like there's a desire to communicate, but nervousness, because if I communicate with you, where will it go from there? Will we be able to resolve what's happened? Rebuild? I'm glad to hear that. Hello, Rachel. Happy Saturday. What else do we have? It is indeed the personal reading section. So, Fridge, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Wheel. If I can find a way to navigate this and rebuild or reconcile, that's what I want to do. Because it's like Sinead O'Connor, nothing compares to you. That's pretty strong. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have for Nat Nat. Most likely, yes, Bridge. Trying to find a way to communicate that, right? Hello, Harsh. How are you doing? For Nat Nat, is there any guidance that Nat Nat needs to know right now? There's someone who's obsessing over you. Someone that you know is not good for you. I don't feel like you have any interest in this person. You're over here, like, not looking very happy, and they're looking after you. Like, why are you walking away? Why aren't you interested? Why aren't you looking at me? Is this an ex? Absolutely. So this is someone who wants to pursue you or wants to be close to you, but is very aware that you're just like, get away. Be gone. Trying to figure out how they could potentially, like, get you back. Yeah, I hear you, Fridge. Thank you, Burton. How are we doing today? Seeing 555. Will everything be all right? So generally, Burton, the number 5 is about change, but we will dig into that for you and see what we find. So with this person who is wanting you back, Nat Nat, we have this Moon and 3 of Swords with the 5 of Wands. I don't know. I feel like this is someone trying to come up with a plan. Does Nat Nat need to be worried about this? Is this like... So it's coming through as a warning because this is someone who's going to try to come up with some sort of illusion or plan to trick you. Is this like catfishing? No, trying to prevent you from connecting to somebody new. So I don't want you to be tempted into a new relationship, or I don't want you to fall in love with somebody else. So if there's a way for me to negatively influence that, then I'm going to do that. Is this like spell work? We did have the Magician in the reverse. Yeah. So this is someone who's trying to find a way to use spell work on you to prevent you from connecting to somebody new. So it's important for you to do some saging or, you know, on a daily basis, envision or manifest that protective energy around you. I do feel like there's a possibility that whatever this ex is trying to do could delay your romantic, like, good karma. But I also feel like you're very capable of blocking this energy. It just might require a little bit of, like, amplifying that or switching up how you do that protective energy. Oh, you're welcome, Fridge. So the second question for Nat Nat is regarding the truth that David wants to tell Nat Nat. What is it that David wants to tell Nat Nat, please? Hanged Kitty in the reverse, which is the Hanged Man in the reverse. 6 of Swords. Page of Wands. This looks like a confession. You know, maybe I was being stubborn. Maybe I was refusing to change my opinion or refusing to see a different perspective. But now I'm willing to acknowledge that I needed to be a little bit more open-minded or acknowledge what was going on. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups in the reverse. I do feel like this is indicative of having a conversation with somebody and gaining a different perspective, getting some advice from someone. So I feel like this is a conversation about, whoops, I probably made a snap judgment, or probably shouldn't have given someone the benefit of the doubt, or I should have been more willing to listen to your side. So this looks like a mea culpa. And I hope that's helpful, Nat Nat. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Let's see what we've got for future. What message is there for future, please? You're welcome, Nat Nat. Yes, thank you for the likes and the subscribes. They help a ton. What message is there for future, please? Four of Cups, Lovers, Three of Pentacles, Strength, Five of Cups in the reverse. This looks like after dealing with rejecting or feeling kind of like you can't connect with anybody, feeling a little bit disconnected, that there is an opportunity to feel like somebody really understands you. There is someone here who wants to be close to you, who has worked through a lot of their healing and gained courage and strength. This is somebody who has also been able to let go or forgive people in their past, accept things in their past. So you're dealing with somebody who is quite amazing, remarkable. There's someone from your past or someone that you know is not super trustworthy who's going to try to influence you regarding this connection because they don't want you to invest in a new future, or they don't want you to change and like pivot towards something different. Is this like a friend? Yes. So you might have someone who's a bit jealous. You might have someone who feels like you're abandoning them or choosing a different life over them. This person is likely to exaggerate or come up with some sort of lie in order to distance you from this new person who is rather trustworthy. Is this going to be like they hit on me when they really didn't? Yeah. So let's say you have a partner that you want to spend your life with, and it's like you introduce them to somebody that you consider a close friend. That close friend might say that something untoward or something inappropriate happened with your new partner because they're feeling threatened about you going off, like riding off into the sunset with this new person, and nothing of the sort happened. They're vilifying your new person because they feel like they're going to have to deal with life on their own and not be able to rely on your friendship. So be very cautious about believing what people say about your new partner. I'm not saying that your new partner is infallible, but there is someone here who's jealous of it. And it's like, if I can get you to question this new life, then maybe I won't have to face mine without you. Feeling like, you know, threatened by it. Let me just tackle that now. What are his true intentions? So there's someone here who doesn't want you to see that you are dealing with true love. So the friend's intentions are betrayal. The person who's in love with you, or that you're in love with, this is a new beginning. This is somebody who wants to be loving towards you. Queen of Cups. So I feel like there's a switch up here where someone who has previously been there for you is threatening a new person who has come into your life that has good intentions for you. So the warning is, be cautious make sure you're listening to your intuition, because I feel like you know your new partner has good intentions, but someone is going to cast doubt on those intentions. Yep. That was a 2-for-1 for you, future. I asked about the intentions of your friend and your partner. I hope that's helpful, and enjoy that relationship. You got a real one. Let's see what we've got for dips. Ah, that's fair, Rachel. Hello, I don't know how to say it. Is it Zyke? How are you doing? Hello, Key Controller. Did I already say hello? I don't know if I did or not. Hello? Is it Pove? I am not. Sorry to disappoint, pero yo hablo español y yo vivía en Cuernavaca, Morelos, como estudiante por 4 meses. Hace mucho tiempo, pero todavía está en mi corazón. Let me add that for you, Dips. If I want to go back to my back stuff, which I am feeling to go, I don't know what you're asking. Do you mean go back to an old version of yourself? To want to go back. Will you clarify that for me, Dips? I want to make sure that I get that right. I'm going to write the other part here. I follow spiritual wisdom. Now, what do you think has changed? Okay, perfect. I've added that for you, and like I did with future, I'll add that on to your first question. Thank you, Burton, for being a little bit patient, but then I don't have to split up the questions. All right, so this is the Beginner's Tarot. Let's see what we've got for Dips. Why does Dips feel so furious but also calm? Magician in the reverse, 10 of Cups in the reverse, King of Cups, and the Death card. You are feeling somebody else's energy. So what that means is somebody is either thinking about you obsessively or literally trying to influence your energy with their own anger. So you're picking up on that because of their obsessive thoughts about you. But with the 10 of Cups in the reverse, this is like, it's not yours, it's somebody else's. So we have disunity. To me, that's like, it's not within your own body, right? You're picking up on somebody else's anger. Let me add Zyke's question. I'm hoping I'm saying it the right way. Any guidance? Thank you. I hope the same for you about my journey. I have recently been disappointed and felt hopeless. I'm sorry you're going through that. We will get some guidance for you and see what can change. And thank you for the tip. For Dips, why furious but calm? Yeah, this is somebody else who feels like you are on the cusp of getting good karma or good fortune. And quite honestly, I feel like this is somebody who wants to take that good fortune from you. So, I mean, I don't really like too often to say this, but I do feel like somebody could be trying to destiny swap with you. I feel like there's someone who is not staying true to their purpose or has been distracted from their path, and they're looking at your life and feeling like you're getting what they feel they should be getting, even though they have not done the work, even though they haven't gone through what you have. So you feel calm because you have this King of Cups energy, this ability to manage your emotions and process what you need to. So with the Death card, you are transmuting that energy. Whatever someone is sending towards you, you're like, no, I think I can process that. I don't want to lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing. But there's someone here who is trying to take what's yours. There's someone who's trying to influence you. So there's a little bit of a battle here. Here's that energy that's trying to influence you with the Devil. They want to knock you off of your path. They want you to feel a little bit crazy or a little bit like what you've been working towards isn't worth it. But it's an attempt to swap. So grounding energy is very important. I need you to seek out more time in nature. Touch some grass, hug a tree, plant a tree, touch some water. But with the Eight of Pentacles being in the reverse, I do feel like this person's attempt is going to fail. I just need you to be a little bit more aware or cognizant of what is meant for you and what you are meant to be bringing to the world, your purpose. Because this is someone who is making a very determined effort to get you to stop doing what you are meant to be doing and to take away some blessing or abundance that is meant for you. So I need you to be very focused on what is actually your energy and what is somebody else's energy masquerading as your own, and envision a protective sphere around you. I generally picture a white sphere because this person is trying to do magic on you, trying to take what is yours without doing the work for it. So be very cautious in terms of who you are associating with currently. We do have a reference to your inner circle here with the 2 3s. The 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups. Be very cautious about who you're telling your plans to, if anybody. But there's someone here who wants to take your good fortune from you. You are stronger than this person. You're capable of blocking this energy. So you got this. And is it okay to want to go back to my old self? No. This is the other person trying to knock you off your path. It's confusion. It's somebody who's trying to prevent you from getting to where you are meant to be. Another set of pairs, by the way. Last time we had 2 3s. Now we have 2 7s. You're being tempted or distracted. And the hope is that you will stop thinking about what it is that you are actually meant to do. So is it okay? I mean, look, you have free will. You can make your choice, right? But the thing is, there is a need for you to stay focused and let go of the energy that is trying to take over or block that energy. So if you can do any kind of saging, or if you have some Palo Santo, or just focus on getting a little bit more time in nature. What has changed for Dips? Why is this desire to go back to my old self? Why is this coming up? Someone who's jealous. Someone who wants to take your energy. Take your future. So it's a battle, and you get to decide how to deal with it. But this is someone who's trying to create chaos and confusion for you so that you get knocked off your square, or you get distracted from the purpose that you're supposed to be fulfilling. This person is untrustworthy, and I feel like they're trying to do magic on you. So whatever you can do to block that, I would encourage that. Is it okay to go back to your old self? That's your choice. But as far as what you are meant to do or what path was meant for you, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's because someone is trying to destiny swap with you. I really don't usually go into that kind of thing, but this is what's happening. Somebody's trying to take what is meant for you. Sorry, Carrie, I just went in for the block because when we start talking about rebuking, I'm not a fan of that. All right, so we've got Burton up next, and Dips, I'm sending you protective energy. Make sure you can identify what emotions and energy is really your own. For Burton, why is Burton seeing 555? Three of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Swords in the reverse. Not surprised to see a 5 coming out there for you. And the Lovers, because you are making a change to get out of a negative cycle, and change is what leads to more stability, which is associated with the number 6. So Lovers, I know for a lot of people, they see the Lovers and they immediately think of soulmates. I get it, that's allowed, but we have a choice, a major choice is what the Lovers is referring to. So I feel like this is about distancing yourself from Victoria. It could be bigger than that. It could be you're making significant changes, and that's one of them. But with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, it's a distancing from a community or a particular individual, choosing something different, no longer being a part of the same cycle, which was basically self-sabotage. And that choice is bringing about change, more stability for you. Will everything be all right for Burton? Yes. This is acknowledging that a certain path is not meant for you and choosing something that is going to bring about stability. Two of Pentacles, balance. Everything is going to be all right. It's, you know, yesterday I did a bunch of cleaning. And if you do any kind of like organization or a deep clean, there's going to be a point of chaos, right? Where you're taking things out or you're making a little bit of a mess so that you can figure out where things need to go, or things are not where they are supposed to be. You wash your clothes, there's clothes that need to be folded, or you wash your sheets, you need to like undo the bed so it doesn't look right. This is transition, right? You're moving towards a different reality or a different path. So it's going to feel a little bit like unorganized, but you're about to get to a place where things make a lot more sense and you are creating this new chapter for yourself. So trust your intuition. Those 5s are telling you it's time for change and that you are doing the right thing by pursuing that change. So is it going to be all right? Absolutely. It's the start of a new beginning for you. Maybe do a little bit of a list or jot some things down. Maybe you also would benefit from going out into nature and feeling a little bit more grounded. But this is normal. This is how it goes when you're making big changes. So be forgiving of yourself and trust in your intuition. All right, we've got Zyke up next. You're welcome, Dips. I wish you luck. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Hello, Arnika. I believe in you, Burton. Thank you, Carrie. No worries, Rachel. So for Zyke, we have, what guidance does Zyke need on a journey, please? Eight of Wands in the reverse. The Devil in the reverse. The 5 of Cups in the reverse. Forgive yourself is the main initial message here, Zyke. Let me add this for dips real quick. Are you saying I'm not sure? To achieve. Yes, definitely spend some time out in nature. It'll help you to feel a little bit more grounded, connected, or in tune with that intuition. But if you can, make sure you're actually like, your skin is actually touching like grass or sand or water. You know what I mean? Hello, user. I hope they do, but feel free to put your question in super chat. I'll pull some cards for you if you'd like me to. And Dips, if you don't mind clarifying, I just want to make sure I ask the right question for you, but are you trying to get at what you should, like what the purpose is or what you're trying to achieve? For Zyke, what other guidance do we have, please? With the Five of Cups in the reverse, Zyke, it's like there's something here that maybe you're thinking about more often than you need to, or revisiting, like I should have done that differently. I feel like you're going to get confirmation that you did the right thing. Especially if it's about going no contact with somebody, because we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse, the Devil in the reverse. I feel like you were able to walk away from or block some energy that you needed to block. Thank you, Nat Nat. Will there be restoration in friendship with T? I've added that for you. Thank you. So, did you walk away from that person? And I'm sorry you've gone through that, Psych. But this is saying you might have felt like you were too harsh. But this is confirmation that you did the right thing. So if you've blocked someone or you've decided, you know, I can't be friends or I can't be in contact with you, this is like, forgive yourself. Don't assume that you've been too harsh. You had to do what you had to do. Somebody is expecting you to, you know, feel at a loss because you aren't connected to them anymore, but it's really just you reclaiming your energy and being able to pursue a better chapter. So the Four of Pentacles, this is like keeping that energy to yourself. That's fair, Dips. We'll see what we get for you. So don't be too harsh on yourself about a change that you needed to make, Zyke, because you did what you needed to do. I feel like you made a choice and it's kind of like lingering and you're feeling a little bit guilty about it. And this message is saying you don't have anything to feel guilty about. Forgive yourself. You had to do what you had to do because someone was not doing right by you. But you have reclaimed some energy and you are attracting a better start or a new chapter in your life. It's changing for the better because basically you got rid of some negative energy in your life. The Devil's in the reverse. You were dealing with somebody who is either controlling or unwilling to consider things from your perspective, and it was blocking you from the things that you deserve in your life. Eight of Swords in the reverse, you were honest with yourself about who you were dealing with and that you needed to change or that you needed, like you deserve better. So as a result, we have this Ace of Pentacles. Improvement, opportunity, gain. The universe is about to tell you, good work. You walked away from something that you didn't need to be dealing with. Fool in the reverse is the energy that you no longer have to deal with. So there's success and like good things coming to you as a result of that decision. So I'm so sorry that you're feeling a bit disappointed or hopeless, but sometimes we have to feel a little bit alone before we get to that point where we realize why things happen the way they did. But with the Wheel of Fortune, you've got good things coming your way. So whatever you can do to see the positive in the situation, I would focus on that. Oh, that's good, Burton. Hello, TTA. How are you doing? Hello, Bahu. If you would like me to pull cards on that, you can put your question in a super chat. Exactly, Nat Nat. Hey, Bahu, let's not repeat the question, please. If you would like me to pull cards on it, you can put it in a super chat. Anything else that Zyke needs to know, please? You're feeling overwhelmed now, but it has made you who you are. It is making you stronger. How do you get diamonds? From pressure. It may have felt like really painful to go through what you've been through, but you're becoming an empress. Doesn't matter what your gender is. This is someone who's capable of building an empire. This is someone who understands emotional difficulty and grew from it. They've transformed as a result of the things that they've been through. So that's a pretty high compliment from the tarot to be seen as the empress. Wear it as a badge of honor. Sacred, I have 2 other super chats to address, which I would assume means I'll be here for probably another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm proud of you, Burton. That's a good approach. And thank you, Nat Nat, for adding some additional guidance. I appreciate you. Let's see what we've got for Dip's follow-up question. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. What does Dips need to know with regards to how to achieve this, or like the methods? Dip said, I'm not sure what I want to achieve it through. High Priestess in the reverse, Death in the reverse, 7 of Swords in the reverse. There are some parts of you that have gone through significant change or transformation, but there's also some parts of you that have always been with you, a darker side. And some things are best in duality, or having that, what's the word that I want? It's not duality, but it starts with a D. You are wise because you understand that which other people can sometimes fall back into. You have an understanding of the darker side of the High Priestess energy, which means you can anticipate and understand that like spiritual vacuum where people are making decisions because they are desperate or because they seek control over things that they do not have control over. But you have that wisdom so that you know what lines to not cross. This is saying you know how to approach this because you understand what other people are willing to do or how other people tend to act. But you're also capable of doing things from a better place. Basically, do you want to operate out of fear or love? Do you want to work with controlling energy or magnetism? We have the Earth Angel in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse. You can operate as a leader rather effectively when people are afraid of you, but you have greater chances of achieving what you want to achieve if you use love. So take that however you feel you need to, but the temptation to do things the way that other people might is ignoring the fact that you've been able to hone your skills on the other side of the coin. So don't hit the big red easy button. Challenge yourself. You have the ability to do this with that Knight of Cups energy as opposed to the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse energy. Love or fear, that's what you're choosing between. Hello, Baha. How you doing today? No worries, Sacred. Toodles, Key, Controller. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you, Nat. So Dips, I am sending you healing and protective energy. Let's see what we've got for Nat. This is the Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. For Nat, will there be restoration in the friendship with D? There will be healing, but I don't know that it will be like a full restoration. It seems like there is some element of trust that may suffer regardless. Because we have the Devil in the reverse, which normally that's where we want to see the Devil in the reverse, but it's like I'm working to heal something and let go or like forget something, but it's always there. Thank you, Sacred. Self-care advice while navigating. With my parents. I'm sorry you're going through that. Super depleted. Do you mean they just don't understand it? You're welcome, Dips. I hope it goes quickly for you, Zyke. And let's get a little bit more for Nat, and then we'll tackle the question for Sacred. Thank you, Sacred. What else does Nat need to know with regards to the friendship with D, please? Moon in the reverse, 9 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups in the reverse. So if you allow it, I'm sorry, Nat, but I'm going to compare it to something that I've been through. So I had a close friend, a very close friend that I spent a lot of time with and like, you know, loved like a sister. Got close with her family as well. And tried to provide some advice in a tricky social situation without giving too much as far as detail. There was a need for this friend to apologize and change their behavior because it was betraying another friend of theirs through a romantic relationship that should not have happened, right? And that never really happened. There was dishonesty, there was a lack of apology, and then there was a bunch of time that passed, and then, you know, ran into this friend and talked to them, and it seemed like there had been a change in behavior. But at the end of the day, I think it was because I wanted to see a newer version or a more mature version of that person without actually like hearing that that thing had changed or seeing that there had been, you know, new behavior. It was like I was going off of some hopes, right? There is work and effort made. There is a change in perception or perspective, but there remains some immaturity or some lack of spiritual awakening. It's like an ego death that was only like 60% done, right? So in your situation, there seems to be some incomplete energy here with regards to the healing, where somebody is always wondering, like, is that thing going to happen again? Because there wasn't a full apology or like dealing with the conflict from the past. That friendship was always on kind of shaky, like, ground, and we're not friends anymore. There was like this false attempt or like incomplete attempt to address what had caused the argument in the first place. And I feel like there is a little bit of that here. There's an attempt to patch things up. There's a desire to heal. There's some forgiveness. There's some conversation, but it doesn't cover the whole, like the gamut, right? So until that happens, or if that doesn't happen, then it's shaky ground. So restoration was a good choice of words in your question, Nat, because it feels to me like there is a very strong attempt. There is a desire to do things the right way, but it's difficult to actually follow through on that energy because it hasn't been a complete like saging or a complete change in that attitude. There's friendship, there's desire to be there for someone, but the change is not complete, or the maturing beyond that problem is incomplete, which is why we have death in the reverse. So with the Queen of Swords, I do feel like at some point there would be some question here as to whether or not you should still be friends with this person, because there has not been like a complete addressing of that issue. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Matthew. How we doing? Fiona, you can put your question in a super chat if you want me to pull some cards for you. Baha, I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through that. My condolences. Sending you healing energy. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, Sacred. Let's get some cards for you. I don't know if there's willingness on the part of your parents to understand what you've gone through, Sacred. But real talk, I deal with PTSD as well. I believe they would refer to it as complex PTSD. And one thing that I've had to explain to people before is, let me draw it for you. My therapist explained at one point that for normal people, sorry, it's backwards. You have like a normal day, not a lot of anxiety or stresses, and it's a flat line. And then when something is stressful, you know, you get like the shakes, or you're more prone to getting angry. And then they go back and they're calm again, right? But when you have PTSD, you're like in this anxious state all of the time. This seems to be a helpful visual representation of what it is to go through PTSD and how to help somebody who has not experienced it, what it feels like, because it means that you're more likely to maybe even like overreact or struggle to get back to a sense of calm after difficulty dealing with somebody or dealing with abuse. If you draw that, it might be helpful in explaining it to your parents, but I can appreciate that even that sometimes is not easy for people to understand. And in some situations, it's because they're in denial and they don't want to think about the fact that you've been through that. But if that's helpful, that's something that I've used in the past. Perhaps that would make things a little bit easier to discuss with your parents. But let's see what else we can get for you with regards to cards. What advice for self-care do we have for sacred while navigating with parents? Strength in the reverse, 7 of Swords, the Chariot, Queen of Cups, 4 of Swords, and the 5 of Cups. Let me add this question for Gab real quick. Hello, Gab. I hope you're having a good day. Al's current feelings for me. And thoughts. Thank you, Gab. Hello, Pipeline. How are you doing? Hello, James. Good point. James says there's different levels of PTSD. Very true. Any kind of education that you can seek out for yourself, sacred, as well as for your parents would be helpful, but I can appreciate that sometimes people just don't really have that sense of curiosity or desire to learn. But there are some really good self-help books out there. If you can't afford to purchase them, you might be able to at least glean a little bit of helpful information with internet searches or, by going to a bookshop and reading a couple books for a little bit. But personally, what I'm seeing is that it does feel to me like there is a little bit of unwillingness on your parents' behalf to believe what's going on or what has happened to you. So that could be, if you haven't shared your story, it could be because you know that they may not be quick to believe you. And I appreciate that. I'm sorry that that would be true if it is. But that could be a very logical reason for you to not be sharing more of your story with the parents. The issue here is I do feel like there is kind of like a negative... I feel like your parents are coming through as someone who thinks that you blame other people. So there is this tendency to disbelieve you, and I'm really sorry if that's true. That makes you feel like maybe it's just not meant to be in terms of explaining or sharing this side or what you're dealing with them. But I want to also just highlight for you, this is one of my very favorite cards. The Queen of Cups from the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot shows a woman standing in the midst of a flood. Now, cups are associated with water, which is associated with emotions. This is you standing amidst all of these emotions. And in a flood, there would be a lot of things taken out that were considered strong or grounded or rooted. And you are standing there, despite the stormy conditions, rooted firmly to the ground. You're not being swept away. So I want you to maybe write it down or vocalize. When you feel comfortable, remind yourself how strong you are. You've gotten through things that would break other people. I need you to focus on, over a period of time, reminding yourself that you've gotten through difficult things and you have remained. You are stronger than you realize, because that's a mausoleum back here. There are other people who have let this kind of situation completely take them away and ruin things, and yet here you are with the Chariot still moving forward. So remind yourself of that strength and that power that you still possess. If you need to, find a way to meditate or take some time in nature. Maybe it's music that's very grounding for you. Going for a walk whenever I can is very helpful for me to feel grounded despite all of the things that are going on around you. And find a way to forgive yourself and forgive the other people you dealt with, because forgiveness is not for the person who hurt you or betrayed you. It is for you, so that you can let go of that energy and not let that person have control or power over how the rest of your life goes. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Forgiving that person, letting go of that energy allows you to release the pain and the frustration or the fear that you might associate with that person or that experience. It may be extremely helpful for you to write about what you've been through or write about your current feelings. Or if that's a little bit too visceral for you, you can get into some artistic expression. I, for one, really have seen a lot of healing from painting or drawing. There are also times where I have felt like I could calm down through doing Sudoku puzzles, but it's about focusing on something outside of myself, I suppose. Oh, that's what we're here for, Baha. I believe in you, Sacred. Thank you for those of you sending positive healing energy towards Baha and towards Sacred. I appreciate you. What else does Sacred need to know, please? I do feel like there's a community out there, and maybe it's this one. Maybe there's more, right? It could be more than one community. And not to like, maybe this is the wrong movie reference, but Fight Club had references to groups that brought people who were grieving together. Now, Helena Bonham Carter? Her character was abusing those groups, right? She was lying about, at one point, having testicular cancer so that she could be a part of a group, and she's a woman. So, take that reference with a grain of salt, but the amount of healing that you can get through talking to other people that have been through something similar is very helpful, because, as you said, the parents struggle to understand that. So there are people here who will help you to work through those feelings and let go of that anger or that fear, because they have been where you stand today. So if you are able to find those, maybe it's just online, Reddit has a lot of good support groups out there. Maybe it's in person. Whatever works for you, there's a need to purge that frustration, that anger, that fear, and you got to find what works specifically for you, whether it's artistic expression or talking through with other people. It doesn't have to cost you money, but there are options out there, and I feel like it's going to help you to process things if you can actually talk through it or find a way to release it, right? Beyond that, being out in nature is very calming, but I see you being able to deal with that despite the fact that your parents might not understand it. Hello, cool girl. How are we doing today? When and where will I meet my new partner? Thank you, cool girl. I've added that for you. Oh, thank you, Vulcan. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. And thank you for those being patient with kind of a heavy read here. Sacred, my heart goes out to you because I've been in your spot. Sorry if I get emotional, but like I said, I've been through PTSD. So to see you all be loving and caring towards each other, it really does, it touches my heart. Sorry, I get emotional sometimes because there are a lot of people out there who go through these things and they don't have the resources. They don't have the people who understand what's going on. And I think that's why channels like mine are so important. You know, some people are quick to just dismiss tarot because it's, you know, seen as witchy or whatever, but it's one of the things that really helped me to get through my own issues with PTSD. So sacred, when I say that I'm wishing you healing, it's coming from the deepest part of my heart. And I really do appreciate everyone. Sorry guys, for sending that positive energy. But you got this, sacred. There are people who care about you and who will help you along the way. Sorry. Even if it's not your parents and even if you can't move out of that house, know that there are people sending you healing energy. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm all right. Anything else for sacred? Three of Cups and the Two of Swords. So the Three of Cups, sorry guys. The Three of Cups is about community and people who are there for you. Just as there are people who will not understand you and people who will question your path or what you've been through, so too are there people who love and care about you. So there could be books out there that will help, but more importantly, I see there being friends who stand up and lift you up and help you. So do not fret. There are people that will understand and help you to get through this time. Sorry, guys. Big hugs to you and to everybody else who's gone through something similar and to those that are sending that positive energy. I appreciate it. Okay. And if I could send you art supplies, I would. Because I think those artistic forms of expression are so important. I gotta move on before I cry too much more, but I love you, sacred. You got this. And apologies if my eyeliner starts to run. You guys will forgive me, right? Okay, Gab, thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. What are Al's current feelings and thoughts for Gab, please? What are Al's current feelings and thoughts for Gab? Page of Swords and the Lovers. Trying to figure out, the Lovers is a making a decision card as much as it is a card about soulmates. But with it being paired with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups in the reverse, we have someone who is trying to make a decision whether or not to reach out. Should I communicate? Should I try to just like move on and let this go? Or is it just going to continue to make me feel upset? The Page of Cups in the reverse can talk about sadness or even depression. Being concerned about how to focus on everything else in life, trying to be successful or, you know, manage Al's life, but also acknowledging that something feels like it's missing, right? Oh, thank you, cool girl. Hello, RS. How are you doing? Sending you a hug, Baha. So, Gab, we've got the Ten of Swords. Questions about whether or not things are over or if there is a way to reconcile or salvage this situation. We have the Magician coming through and the Ace of Wands. I feel confidence. I feel like I can take this on. I feel like I can do something. I can make an effort here or change my approach. I don't want to like let this be the one that got away. So I feel like Al is contemplating a new approach to the connection with you, wanting to find a way to repair things, but not repeat the same mistake. I can't let go of that connection that I have with you. We have the Six of Cups. This is like generally depicted as like little boy handing a little girl a flower. So it's like there's history here. And with the King of Wands in the reverse, even though there's been some frustration or some anger, I feel like we can resolve this. So there's a desire for a conversation and an awareness that if we have this, you know, if we have this chat, I need to make a decision on how to approach it because I don't want to repeat the same thing. So this is someone who's contemplating a conversation with you. That's fair, Baha. I appreciate that. So this is likely to lead to an apology. All right, let's go with the Tarot of the Nile. And Gab, I hope you don't have to wait too long for that, but this is someone who's eager to talk to you and thinking about how maybe it's not so difficult to fix things, right? It's true, Carly. And Carly, I'll tell you a secret. I didn't always like my name. My name's Carmen. I think you already know that, but just in case you don't know. So when I was like not happy about how different my name was from, you know, all the like Kellys and Jennifers out there, I told everybody to call me Carly. So for a couple of months in my life, I went by Carly. All right, let's see what we have for Cool Girl. And good luck to you, Gab. When and where will Cool Girl meet a new partner? Three of Pentacles, 10 of Wands in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse. The meeting of your new partner happens after you let go of somebody from your past. So it's not so much like 3 weeks from now, kind of defined. It's tied to when you fully release or forgive or accept that something won't move forward with someone from your past. I feel like you've already started this work. I don't feel like this is, you know, months and months of work for you. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Gab. And you're very welcome. I love this community. Y'all are so sweet. Hello, TL. How are you doing? I like it better now. A lot better now, Carly. Cool Girl, we've got the 8 of Wands in the reverse and the 5 of Pentacles. Like double confirmation that this is someone you're no contact with. When you fully let this person go, maybe you need to do like a little bit of like a cord cutting or just say, I release Clown from my past. They probably have a real name, so use their actual name, but I release you, Clown. I release you, Clown. I release you, Clown. And your red nose and your silly shoes. Say it 3 times. But there's something here that has not like fully happened in terms of releasing this person from your past. And once you do that, there's this 4 of Wands, King of Cups energy. You elevate the love life by fully releasing this person from your past that you know you do not have a future with. So there's like a final step here that you need to take, and then that is a signal to the powers that be or to the universe that you are ready for this new love. There's something here that you haven't. Is it something that needs to be tossed out? Is it like an item? It might be an item. Do you have like jewelry or a letter or a picture? Because it's saying there's still something here. But I would even say you're asking about when and where I meet my new person. You're not asking about whether or not this person's still thinking about you. So I feel like you've already done so much work to let go of this person, but there's something that is still connecting you to this past. And that's the block. So when that happens, I feel like it would be a very quick turnaround. If I had to put a time frame on it, I feel like it happens in August. With strength being number 8. And what about where? Where will Cool Girl meet this person? We have Queen of Cups in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. I do feel like it's near a river or a lake, and you might be doing some sort of mundane task like grocery shopping or, you know, paying for your car tabs, or I don't know, taking your car into the auto repair shop. I feel like it's not like an exciting moment, except for then you meet somebody. There might even be a little bit of frustration or an argument that happens. But it's like you're running errands. You're crossing things off of a list. And I feel like this person who your next partner is going to be, I feel like they are helpful in terms of helping you like reach something off the top shelf in a grocery store, or they tell you, you know, actually, I wouldn't buy that here. It's much cheaper on this website. There's something here that they do like to give you helpful advice or to like nudge you in the right direction. There you go, Cool Girl. Donate that. Send it to Goodwill or give it to a friend. Get it out of your place. Thank you for the sparkles, Gab. Hello, spiritual healer. How are you doing? I'm proud of you. Hello, Melissa. Happy Saturday. So, Cool Girl, I feel like you won't expect to meet somebody in this location. You aren't looking for someone. It's not like you're going to a bar. It's not like you're going to some, you know, like meetup thing. You're just doing your thing. Like, oh, gotta find some noodles. Gotta find some, you know, 2% milk. And then, oh, what do we have here? But it's a mundane location, somewhere you go to semi-frequently in a given month. And this person offers some helpful guidance, or maybe they make a joke, like commiserating with you in line. All right, y'all, I gotta go eat some food. Sorry if you heard my stomach growling during this reading. Thank you to all of you who are kind and caring and generous in some of those more difficult to do readings. I very much so appreciate how you share your positive energy with each other and lift each other up in difficult times. Sending you all a giant hug. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.